A special day here at Wrigley Field. The Harry Carey statue rededicated at the entrance of the Bud Light bleachers, corner of Waveland and Sheffield. Make sure you stop by. Next time you come out to the ballpark, the Hyundai leadoff man kicks off. We get set for the Cubs hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates here on WGN. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to the Hyundai leadoff man. I'm Len Casper. It's the rubber game today. Couple of blowouts in this series. 14-2 Cubs Monday night. The Pirates turned the tables 14-7 last night. But we mentioned the big event outside the Bud Light bleachers, and let's hear from Chairman Tom Ricketts on how special Harry Carey is to all Cub fans.
What Harry Carey meant to this team, this organization, and to Cubs fans everywhere. He had a unique style, and his energy and his spirit was truly, truly infectious. As a fan, you knew that Harry was one of you. So as fans, we knew he was one of us. And as a real fan, he was always comfortable in the bleachers. He liked the atmosphere of the bleachers and realized that the bleacher atmosphere is one of the best in all of sports. And in fact, as we all know, Harry did broadcast from the bleachers. So it's fitting that as a Cub fan and a Bud man, and particularly as a bleacher fan, that Harry will be here for years to come to welcome everyone that is coming into the bleachers.
I'd like to thank the Ricketts family for continuing to honor Harry. Thanks, Tom. Now, please join me in raising a Budweiser, his favorite beer, to toast Harry and sing his favorite song at the rededication of his statue. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, or it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
So great to see Dutchie Ernie Banks on hand and one of Harry's best friends, Pete Vanaken, as well. As we go to break, let's take a look at today's Hyundai dealer of the game, Gardner Hyundai in Aurora, Illinois. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. The Cubs minor league affiliates nearing the end of the regular season. The Cubs haven't made any call-ups yet, but they will over the next week or so. The Iowa Cubs with a one-game lead as their season is dwindling. They split a doubleheader yesterday. At AA Tennessee, just simply a tuning up for the Southern League playoffs. And for Daytona and Peoria at the single-A level, they are getting into must-win territory here, both trying to get in to the postseason. Time now for Bob's AutoZone tip of the day. 4 words, let me hear you, as we raise a glass to the great Harry Carey. The tip of the day brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone. Getting you set for Cubs baseball today. It's been a tough season series that will end today against the Pirates, who have now beaten the Cubs 10 out of the first 14 contests. Let's take a look at today's starting pitchers. For the Pirates, right-hander James McDonald. This will be his Wrigley Field debut. He was acquired from the Dodgers on the final day of July in the Octavio Dotel trade. He's 2-3 so far with the Pirates. And it's a former Buck, Tom Gorzolani. Going for the Cubs, gave up a season-high 6 earned runs at Cincinnati in his last start. This will be his 21st start of the season for the Cubs. So we're set to go. The Pirates and Cubs in the rubber game today from beautiful Wrigley Field. Next.
following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Cubs are in the midst of a 10-day, 9-game homestand here in Chicago, and we greet you from beautiful Wrigley Field for Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. It's a rubber match today. We've had a couple of high-scoring blowouts. The winning team plating 14 runs in each of the first 2 games. We welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Bob, it seems like almost every day we start the broadcast talking about Starlin Castro, and there's a pretty good reason for that.
There's a good reason for that. He's having an unbelievable rookie campaign as a 20-year-old. We're going to show you some numbers here as his season has progressed. Got off to a good start in the month of May. Hit that little speed bump in June where teams made an adjustment to him, but he turned right around, made a counter adjustment. One thing we have to keep in mind, Len, most of the time he's seeing pitchers every day for the first time. You have to believe the more he sees pitchers in the National League, the better he's going to get.
And he will see James McDonald for the first time today. We'll talk about him in a second. Let's first talk about left-hander Tom Gorzelani. He's had a decent season, coming off kind of a tough start.
Yeah, tough start last time out against Reds, arguably his worst start of the season, following what was arguably his best start of the year against the Atlanta Braves. So hopefully if that every other start syndrome works out, he'll pitch a gem today.
James McDonald faced the Cubs in relief last year as a member of the Dodgers, but not too familiar with this right-hander.
Yeah, this guy's a pretty good young arm. 2007, 2008, both years he was the Dodgers minor league pitcher of the year, has a really good straight changeup.
So hopefully the Cubs can win this series. They've dropped 10 of 14 against the Pirates. Let's send it down to the field as we get set for our national anthem.
Starting lineups have been brought to you by Best Buy. Imagine the thousands of possibilities. Get yours at Best Buy today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all please rise, kindly remove your caps, and join Michael McDermott and Heather Horton as they honor the United States by performing our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
summer baseball station, WGN. Brought to you by Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball. Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. AT&T Uverse TV launched the Chicago Cubs Multiview app in partnership with WGN Sports. Now for Cubs home games on WGN through the rest of the season, AT&T Uverse viewers can call their own shots. The Multiview app allows the viewer to choose from 7 different camera angles and watch 4 at the same time. Multiview is on channel 780 and available to all Uverse TV customers in the Chicago area. The lights are on. We see a little bit of the sun peeking through the cloud cover. Got some rain this morning. Very humid. Not much wind at the moment. But according to Tom Skilling, we should be okay. Might see some scattered showers a little later this afternoon. Bob, always great to see Dutchie Carey here at Wrigley Field. She spoke to the fans outside the Bud Light bleachers as the Cubs rededicated the Harry Carey statue, and Dutchie throwing out the ceremonial first pitch.
Always just great to see Dutchie. I'll tell you, Harry could pick him. She's still a good-looking lady, and she loves her Cubs.
So the Cubs take the field behind southpaw Tom Gorzolani. A 14-2 win Monday. But then a 14-7 loss to these Pirates last night. Andrew McCutchen, a 9-game hitting streak here at Wrigley. Jose Tabata's in left. Neil Walker, 4 hits last night. Garrett Jones hit a home run. He's at first. And he's also right in the middle of your camera, your screen right there. Pedro Alvarez at third. Ryan Doman in right. Former Cub Ronnie Cedeno at short. Chris Snyder will do the catching for the second straight game. And James McDonald will do the pitching.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Tom Gorzolani. Brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Soriano, Colvin, and Fukudome across the outfield today. Darwin Barney getting his first start at third base. Was out for some early work today. Took some ground balls off the bat of Ivan DeJesus. Starlin Castro at shortstop. Blake DeWitt will be at second. Micah Hoffpower getting the start at first base today. Coy Hill once again behind the plate, had a big 2-run homer, fell a triple shy of the cycle in last night's ball game, and Coy will be doing the catching for left-hander Tom Gorzolani. Talked about his last outing against the Reds, went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits and 6 runs, only 1 strikeout, 2 walks in that ball game, but he was really good the outing before against the Braves.
Iowa native Bruce Dreckman will work the plate this afternoon. Paul Emmel at first, Bill Hahn at second. And the crew chief, Gary Darling, is at third.
And Mike Quade taking advantage of the off day tomorrow to give some of his regulars today off. So it, in essence, works out to 2 days off in a row. And he'll have a fresh, rested lineup ready to go on Friday against the Mets. And also, he's got a pretty good bench available today.
He does. McCutchen will start it for a Pirates team that has the worst record in the majors, 44-88. But again, they've had the Cubs number all season. Barney plays in on the grass at third as McCutchen sends a towering fly ball to left. Alfonso Soriano onto the track. Now both feet onto the grass. Right at the edge of that warning track for the first out.
The ball's probably out onto Waveland Avenue the first 2 games of this series, but the wind has turned a little bit, as you mentioned, Len. Not blowing extremely hard right now, but the wind we had earlier today was blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner, and may have helped knock down that high fly ball.
Rookie Jose Tabata, 3 for 5. Knocked in a couple, scored 3 times last night. The Cubs' new manager, Mike Quade. So gone 5-3 since he took over last week. 2-1 from Gorzolani. Fly ball the other way. Kosuke Fukudome still back near the well, makes a catch. Time now for our Chrysler game forecast. 78, but the humidity rising makes it feel warmer than that, especially in the sun, but the forecast improving. Brought to you by Chrysler. For more information on our vehicle lineup, log on to Chrysler.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Chrysler dealer today.
You saw the difference in the two fly balls there. The one by McCutcheon to left field seemed to get knocked down. The one to Fukudome in right field seemed to carry.
You look at this Pirates lineup, it seems like just about every guy in the lineup is extremely hot at the plate or extremely cold. Neil Walker would be one of those hot hitters, an 8-game hitting streak during which he has hit 400. Two guys who have done the most damage against the Cubs this season. Jones and McCutcheon came in struggling. That's a base hit. Walker with 6 hits and 10 at bats in the series.
And Neil Walker, a switch hitter, hits equally well from both sides of the plate, at least as far as the batting average. If you prorate the numbers, he has more power as a right-handed hitter, but he has consistently gotten the barrel of the bat on the ball in this series.
Nice use of the word prorate.
Stayed up late last night.
I was going to say. 1-0 on Garrett Jones. Came in scuffling. It seems like the Cubs always get him hot again. Breaking ball didn't break a whole lot. 2 balls, no strikes. Another lefty on deck, Pedro Alvarez. The 2-0 on the way. Swing and a miss. That was ball 3, and Garrett Jones knew it after he swung at it.
Those are the kind of swings on a 2-0 count that will drive a hitting coach crazy. 2-0, 3-1. If you get the green light on 3-0, you're looking for one pitch in one zone. That was a defensive 2-strike swing there at a 2-0 pitch.
Long look at Walker before the pitch. Missed that one too. 2-2. The Pirates 14 runs last night, the most on the road for them since they beat St. Louis 14-4 on May 31st of 2008. So it had been a while. They have snapped 2 very long road losing streaks this season here at Wrigley, a 17-gamer earlier in the year, and last night a 14-game losing streak. Pirates are 5-3 here. They went 2-1 at Colorado. Everywhere else on the road they've gone 7-48. 3-2.
And this goes way back for the Pirates. And on this date in baseball history, in 1890, the Dodgers beat Pittsburgh, then known as the Alleghenies, 10-9, 3-2, and 8-4. The only triple header ever in Major League Baseball history. Not sure the circumstances surrounding that triple header, but the Dodgers and the, at the time, Alleghenies played a triple header, and the Dodgers swept all 3.
I was not at that triple header.
Couldn't get tickets.
Oh. So Jones with the walk. Here's Alvarez with 2 on and 2 down. The Pirates jumped on Ryan Dempster last night for 4 in the first inning. And Ryan would go a season low 3. Gave up a season high 7 earned runs. A lot of breaking balls from Gorzolani against the lefties, in particular in this inning. There's another one. 1-1. In the dirt that time. 2-1. I pulled into the parking lot today around 9 a.m. and on the car readout it said it was about 71 degrees outside. I thought, well, it might be one of those rare cool days. But then the sun appeared for the first time. It's a sneaky hot today, isn't it?
Yeah, and
78 as we started, but you can see Tom Gorzolani really working up a sweat.
Yeah, it got hot in a hurry. Once the clouds parted and the sun came out, temperatures were shooting up. Yeah, it was very comfortable early this morning.
Good to see some blue skies above.
Everyone's in love on the lazy river.
A 2-2. Full count. The runners will get a head start. There they go. Here's the pitch. Got him. Called strike 3. Throws him on a fastball. Alvarez didn't see a lot of heat in that at bat. They sprang 2. The Cubs are coming up. For today's game against the Pirates, brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. The Cubs have scored 21 runs already in this series. Blake DeWitt in the leadoff spot. Starlin Castro batting second as per usual. Kosuke with his first action in the series. Micah Hoffpower gets his third start at first. Colvin in center for Bird. Soriano in left. Barney spelling Ramirez and Baker at third. Coy Hill's been in there this series for Giovanni Soto. And Tom Gorzolani will do the pitching and bat ninth as right-hander James McDonald is set to work. Former Dodger, and he deals a strike to former teammate Blake DeWitt. McDonald, 25 years old. That's popped foul by DeWitt. Back out of play. His major league debut in 2008.
I mentioned earlier, fastball, curveball, changeup mix. Has a really good straight changeup. And if history holds true, McDonald is usually pretty good the first time through the order. It gets a little sketchy the second time through, and by the third time through, most teams have a pretty good beat on it.
and DeWitt couldn't hold it. Gary Darling on appeal made the call.
Well, we have a moment. Let's check out the Pirates defensively today. Jose Tabata in left field, Andrew McCutcheon in center, Ryan Domet over in right field, Pedro Alvarez and Ronnie Cedeno on the left side. Neil Walker, as homegrown as you can possibly be, was drafted by the Pirates. He lives in Pittsburgh, was a prep star in multiple sports. He'll be at second base. Garrett Jones over at first. Chris Snyder behind the plate today, and right-hander James McDonald on the mound.
Fouled back by Starlin Castro. Stays hot. 5 hits in the series. Scored 4 runs. Qualifying now for the batting title. He's on the list and in the top 5. McDonald at one time was an outfielder in the Dodger organization. 2004, 2005, primarily playing the outfield. Time to check out today's improvement from Menards. 3 rookies who've been really good in the second half in action today. Castro, Tabata, and Neil Walker all hitting at least .331 since the break. For all your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards. Ground ball to Ronnie Cedeno. Low throw, and Jones saved Cedeno, an error on the long short hop, if that makes sense.
I get your drift. Garrett Jones, one of the major run producers in this Pirates lineup, but he's flashed some leather over there at first base in this series. That's one of a number of really good picks that he's made for his infielders.
Mike Quade continues to adjust the lineup according to that day's matchups and who's available. Kosuke Fukudome on the bench the first 2 games. He's been arguably the Cubs' hottest hitter lately, so he's hitting third for just the second time this season. Huge month of August for Kosuke. Third in the league with an on-base plus slugging of 1,117 in August. That's a strike. Three and one.
Well, and we haven't talked about it so far in this series, but fans may remember the games leading up to this series. The Pirates bunched their outfielders, and by that we mean they moved their corner outfielders closer to the gaps, closer to the center fielder, trying to take away those extra base hits in the gaps. That theory's kind of gone by the boards in this series. I haven't seen the same kind of bunching effect. Right now you see McCutcheon shaded over in left center, leaving a huge gap in right center field.
Part of that also could be Gary Varsho, the bench coach who also coordinated the outfielders, was let go a few weeks ago, as was the pitching coach Joe Carrigan. Fukudome draws the walk. Becomes the first Cubs base runner. Ray Searage is now the pitching coach, and Jeff Bannister, the bench coach to John Russell.
Well, you get the feeling Gary Varsho is not going to be out of the game very long.
I would agree.
One of the best bright young minds in the game. He'll get his shot somewhere.
Off power in the cleanup spot, making his third start for the Cubs here this season. 2 for 2, 2 doubles, an RBI, and 2 runs in the series coming off the bench.
Like narrowly missed a home run last night. Went to straight away center field, just to the left of the 400 mark. Hit a line drive about 3/4 of the way up the ivy out there.
Fortune McDonald at one time played the outfield. Tall and lanky, 6'4", 203 pounds. When you look at his build and consider that at one time he was an outfielder, probably runs the bases pretty well.
He may swing the bat well. Have to keep an eye on him.
Although if he swung the bat really, really well, he probably wouldn't be pitching.
He's 0 for 10 here with the Pirates. So.
One hit right on the button, but right at Ryan Doman. After one, no score. You can email us at LennonBob@Tribune.com and follow us at Twitter.com/LennonBob as well. We got several emails regarding the seventh inning stretch singers for this homestand. Lynn Bramer from WXRT coming up on Friday. Saturday to be announced. Blackhawks will be represented on Sunday. Comedian Tom Dreesen on Monday. Billy Williams on the night his statue will be unveiled. Will sing Tuesday, and Bears legend Gale Sayers on Wednesday. Thanks to Sarah Connery, Carl Suzak in particular for emailing us regarding the seventh inning stretch. The Drex Morning Show, Kiss FM, will handle it today as DeWitt throws out Doman. And you can find that list, as always, on our WGN Baseball blog at WGNTV.com.
Like they just wanted to make sure that we weren't singing any of those days.
So they'll be happy. Cedeno out in the left center. Colvin chasing after it. It's going to one-hop the barrier as Cedeno has a double. He had a big 2-run double in that 4-run first last night.
And that double last night came on the first pitch as well. Cedeno ambushing the Cubs staff in this series. Fastball down and away, reaches out and hooks it back to the gap in left center.
Catcher Chris Snyder, recently acquired from Arizona. One call up for the Pirates for this game here on September 1st. The rosters now can expand to as many as 40. Outfielder John Bowker, the former Giant, is on their bench. He started in right on opening day for San Francisco. Most of his time this season has been spent at AAA. 2 balls, no strikes. The most significant call up over the last 24 hours. Left-hander Aroldis Chapman called up to work out of the Cincinnati bullpen. And he hit 102 miles an hour on the gun at Great American Ballpark last night in his debut.
You can almost hear the oohs and ahs from the fans there at Great American Ballpark as Chapman lit up that scoreboard.
A pop up by Snyder. Castro makes the play.
Hey fans, Saturday is Kimberly Clark Day at Wrigley Field. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Mets at 12:05. Lucky seat winners will be awarded great prizes throughout the game, and there's no purchase necessary. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
Great piece in the Dayton Daily News today by Hal McCoy about Chapman. Hal writes, he's all legs, 6'4". His legs seemingly sprouting out from under his armpits. That gives him a tremendously long stride. He seems to be pitching from 52 feet instead of 60 feet 6 inches. And Bob Watson from Major League Baseball has some pictures on his cell phone. After Chapman pitched in a AAA game, the grass out in front of the mound was all chewed up. He was not even landing on the dirt.
Jeez.
So Watson saying they may have to make the mound bigger, so he actually lands on the mound. If we watch Tom Gorzolani and James McDonald today, their landing spot's got to be a good foot and a half before they actually get to the grass. Maybe 2 feet.
Yeah. Can they actually do that, make the mound bigger just because one pitcher steps out onto the grass?
Maybe at least in Cincinnati they can.
Yeah.
McDonald bounces back to Gorzolani. He tosses to Hoffpower to get the out. Cedeno with a double, but they do not score. We're still scoreless.
With Toyota. Over the last 6 seasons, the Cubs have been one of the best finishing teams in the National League. The Phillies at the top of the list, the Astros right behind, and there are the Cubs. They've had at least a .500 record in the month of September, 6 of the last 7 seasons. Toyota and your local Toyota dealers, official partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Tyler Colvin will lead off the Cubs second. 2 hits in the game, both belonging to the Pirates. As right-hander James McDonald fires. Fastball missing, ball 1. Colvin playing center, Marlon Byrd getting the day off with an unspecified issue. He was limping noticeably late in the ball game out to his position in center field. Later had to make a leaping catch. He says he's okay. Mike Quade just giving him a day, and with the off day tomorrow, he'll get 2 in a row. Ramos Ramirez with a scheduled day off. Jeff Baker was going to start at third, but dealing with a minor Achilles issue, so Quade decided to go with Darwin Barney over at third. 2-2.
Darwin Barney has to feel a little bit like this has been spring training throughout this homestand. He's been working extensively at shortstop and second base with Alan Trammell. I mentioned he came out very early today. Neither team hit on the field, and Barney was taking ground balls at third base with Ivan DeJesus. Putting a lot of extra work in.
Foul tip, strike 3. Number 2 for McDonald. Barney jumps into that on-deck circle with Soriano coming up. Down the right field line. This is twisting out of play. Alfonso 3 for 8 in the series with 2 knocked in, and he has scored twice. Well, it really would be nice. You alluded to it a couple days ago to see Soriano at some point here over the final month plus to just get red hot. Have about a week like we've seen him have over the past, I think it was 08. He had like a 10-day stretch. It seemed like he hit a game-winning home run almost every other day.
It's been a while since we've seen a hot streak like that from Soriano.
I'm assuming that gentleman will not be wearing that helmet after he finishes lunch.
You never know.
You never know. Swing and a miss. 2 down in the inning. Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF. Barney is a middle infielder by trade. Shortstop is his natural position, but he does feel comfortable at third. And getting the start there today. Drives that ball into right.
Slashing inside out swing, producing a line drive in front of Ryan Domet out there in right field. And Darwin Barney, for a little guy, he doesn't get cheated. He takes a pretty good rip.
Coy Hill, probably his best offensive game of the year last night. Triple shy of the cycle. And his first home run in over a calendar year. Not seen Giovanni Soto on this homestand, dealing with a minor right knee issue. Again, hopefully he'll be ready to go this weekend. Mets are in starting Friday. We'll have Saturday and Sunday's games here on WGN. Note the start time Saturday, 12 o'clock Central Time here on WGN. Pulled into right for at least a double for Hill. And let's see if Barney can score. He's coming around third. The relay throw is going to keep Hill at second as Walker simply faked the toss. They had no shot at Barney, and the Cubs lead 1-0. Stay hot, Coy Hill.
Absolutely. Had a couple of hits the first game of this series from the right side of the plate. The big night you mentioned last night, and stays hot with an RBI double here in his first at bat of this ball game. Fastball up around the letters. Tomahawks it down into that right field corner. I don't have the exact quote, but Coy Hill was talking about his home run in the ball game last night, and said he now has one more than a dead guy. It's been a long drought for Coy Hill with the long ball before the one last night.
This year.
This year.
He has one more than a dead guy.
Yeah.
Right. Zolani pops into left center. Andrew McCutchen will make the catch. The Cubs get the lead. Back-to-back two-out hits. Barney knocked in by Coy Hill, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
Inning. Let's check out the crowd through the first inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game. Remember Earth, Wind, and Fire with September. Budweiser, it's what we do.
Love that song.
Yeah.
Philip Bailey, one of the vocalists. One ball, no strikes on McCutchen. Cubs leading 1-0. Change up outside, 2-0. Have lost the sun momentarily. Again, the lights have been on throughout. That went in on the hands of McCutchen. Fouled back, 2-1.
Hey, Len, I saw a little note that up at Miller Park, the Brewers are experimenting with moving the panels to try to eliminate some of the shadows that creep between home plate and the pitcher's mound.
Ran issues with the day games close, and they got him.
Topper to that left side of the infield. Castro got a little bit of a late break, but made up for it. Good strong throw on to first just in time to get McCutchen.
Tabata takes that one for ball one. Boy, very early start in Cleveland today, and the White Sox engineering the sweep. They had to come back late. 5 runs over the final 2 innings. Did Gorzolani get hit? I think he did. Oh, man. That ball was smoked by Tabata. And Mark O'Neill out very quickly. That caught him on the pitching hand. Oh, man. Only one bit of good news, it didn't hit him in the head. But this could be a bad one.
Oh, just able to get the left hand up through the glove up. It's in self-defense to keep from getting hit in the face. The ball fortunately deflected right to Blake DeWitt for the out, but the big concern now is Tom Gorzolani.
See any way he can continue.
I'd be really surprised. Taking a line drive like that off of your throwing hand.
I think Mark O'Neill's telling him that there's no way you're going to continue. Boy, the Pirates pitching staff has suffered a few of those. Chris Jakubauskas got hit in the head. Ross Ohlendorf hit a couple of times. Very dangerous. And it's one of those injuries that's really unavoidable. Talked about Aroldis Chapman. By the time most pitchers finish their delivery, they are about 53, 54 feet away from home plate, and that ball came back a lot harder than the pitch.
And they've done studies and determined that a hitter has about 0.3 or 0.4 of a second to react to a pitch. A pitcher has even less time than that because he's closer to home plate, and as you said, that ball was coming back harder than it went in.
So Thomas Diamond will have as much time as he needs, and he basically didn't warm up at all in the bullpen. The Cubs lead 1-0, but it's going to be a bullpen day the rest of the way, and we sure hope Gorzolani's okay.
Sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $16 million.
Tom Gorzolani had to leave, got hit on the left hand. So right-hander Thomas Diamond takes over. It has been night and day. Diamond really struggled as a starter, made 3 starts before being moved to the bullpen. As a reliever, he is not allowed an earned run in 5 appearances, covering 6 innings, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings in relief, 22 overall in just 19 innings.
Recently, Thomas Diamond has been in a real good place mechanically. He's got that downward plane on his pitches. He's been working the bottom of the strike zone. Occasionally will elevate a fastball to change the hitter's eye level and then goes right back down to the bottom of the knees.
It's been a couple of weeks since he's really been stretched out, but not too far removed from being a starting pitcher. We'll see how many innings he can give Mike Quade today. 2-1 on Neil Walker, 2 down, nobody on. Outside, 3-1. One thing you do worry about in this spot, for a reliever coming in who had not thrown a pitch in the bullpen, is that he took as many pitches as he needed on the big league mound. You occasionally hear later after the fact that a guy says, you know what, I probably didn't warm up properly. And the reason for that is you're not used to literally warming up on the big league mound. You're much more comfortable doing it off to the side.
And you know, everybody in the ballpark, including both teams in the dugouts, are just waiting and watching.
That's deep left field, and Neil Walker stays hot. He just tied it up on a 3-2 pitch with an opposite field home run. 7 for 11 in the series with 2 home runs.
Ninth homer of the season for Neil Walker, and no help from the wind on this one. Just a center cut fastball from Thomas Diamond. Walker got the barrel on it, got it up in the air, and wind or no wind, that ball was going to leave the yard.
The ball hit hard, but right at Blake DeWitt to end the inning. Cubs lose their starting pitcher as Gorzolani was knocked out, and the Pirates tie it up. Neil Walker has carried this Pirates offense the last 2 days. He just tied the game with a home run into the bleachers and left off Thomas Diamond. Tom Gorzolani getting hit in the pitching hand by the top of the liner, has headed to the hospital for x-rays. And In medical speak, negative is positive, so we hope the x-rays come back negative. There's no break. We'll keep you posted. DeWitt pops out to Cedeno. Cup fans, make sure you check out our WGN Baseball blog on WGNTV.com. I have a post about the great Harry Carey. Check it out. We have the 7th inning singers for the rest of the homestand. A new podcast available as well. Game notes from Stats and much more. Once again, WGNTV.com. Starlin Castro takes a get me over curve. Follow up the White Sox. 5 runs over the final 2 innings to come back and beat Cleveland. Ramirez with a couple of RBIs and a home run. Alexei. As Castro's 1 for 2. Manny went 1 for 3 in his White Sox debut. Tony Pena got the win in relief. So Manny playing at Cleveland, his original team, and coming up this weekend at Boston.
Well, Manny always gets a reaction, but in those 2 particular cities, probably a little more so than the other cities he's going to visit the remainder of the season. Especially in Boston, where I think there's a general feeling that he really quit on that team. I believe it might be a hostile welcome.
It's kind of interesting. He did his first interview as a member of the White Sox in Spanish. Bench coach Joey Cora yesterday was translating, and then at the end, the final line was basically in English. Hey guys, can I go get ready for the game? Said he felt more comfortable and speaking in Spanish. Two and 1 the count on Fukudome. 1 on, 1 out, and a 1-1 tie. Fly ball deep left center for Fukudome. That splits the gap right at the base of the wall. Castro hustling toward the plate. The throw way offline and late. It's 2-1. Kosuke Fukudome with a go-ahead RBI double.
The Pirates were even pinching that gap in left center, and Kosuke still able to drive this curveball all the way to the vines. A really good read by Starlin Castro at first base. He saw that that ball was going to be down and streaked around the bases and scores without a play at home plate.
Outside to Hoffpower. The ball hard his first time as he lined out to right. That one fouled back into the upper deck. Nicely done by that fan. Got some kids around you, sir. Sure one of them ends up with that ball.
fans all around us and below us have made some great plays this year. We still have yet to get a foul ball up here in the booth, partner. That's an oddity.
You know what? That's a nice catch. We're all kids at heart. We're at the ballpark. If he keeps that one, I'd be just fine with that. Now, if he stole it away from a kid, yeah, that'd be another thing.
That kid's too busy digging into those nachos or whatever's in that little container there. Yeah, he's going to stuff that one in his pocket. So sure that young man knows there's a ball game going on. As long as there's food in the vicinity.
Power chased. Snyder, a good throwing angle as he throws on to first. Now Colvin for the second time. Off day tomorrow. Mets come in Friday. Houston will be here Monday. And it's back to the road. Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Florida. You are coming out this weekend. The Cubs and Cubs wives as Kadome will take an extra base. Cubs Wives Food Drive presented by Myers is Saturday here at Wrigley. Don't forget to bring healthy, non-perishable food items with you to the game. Fans who make a donation of 10 eligible items or $20 will get a Cubs autographed photo. And 2 per person while supplies last. All proceeds benefit Lakeview Pantry. So that's prior to and during the 12:05 game on Saturday against the Mets. Donations will be accepted outside Gate D at Sheffield and Addison from 10 a.m. until the start of the 3rd inning. Cubs also teaming up with the Baseball Tomorrow Fund to host an equipment collection drive before the game on Saturday. You can donate new and used equipment at specially marked tables on Clark Street between Addison and Waveland. Also beginning at 10 a.m. And the donations will benefit Streeter Youth Baseball. The tornado severely damaged Southside Diamonds, the fields of Streeter Youth Baseball earlier this summer. And the grant of $5,000 will be given to Streeter Youth Baseball in the name of Sean Marshall. That's deep right field for Tyler Colvin. Off the wall. Fukudome in easily. And Tyler with a double. All 3 Cubs runs in this game have scored on RBI 2 base hits. I guess that's the hit du jour.
Yeah, we like it. Cubs had 9 doubles in a game not too long ago. A little bit of elevation. Tyler Colvin probably gets a home run, but that line drive bangs off the middle of the wall out there in right field. Keep the line moving.
Pitching coach Ray Searage out to talk with McDonald.
Len, you mentioned that Baseball Tomorrow Fund asking people to donate some equipment, and I know there are a lot of parents out there that have a stack of aluminum bats that their kids used in Little League, and now their kids are in college, and believe me, you're not going to use them for anything else. Donate them and let somebody get some good out of them. That old catcher's mitt that you think you're going to use again, you're probably not.
Soriano, a strikeout victim his first time. Snyder smothers that breaker. end of this season. That'll mark the halfway point of Soriano's 8-year deal. He signed prior to 2007. Inside. 2-0. He's been with the Yankees, the Rangers, the Nationals, and now the Cubs.
And there's no question what the Pirates pitching staff has been trying to do to Soriano in this series, consistently pounding him in on the hands and then trying to throw breaking balls off the plate low and away. Well, McDonald just cannot command that curveball right now. He's either rolling it up there in the middle of the plate or missing badly. After the fastball up and in, tries to come right back with a curveball in the same slot, and that stays up and in.
Three and one on Soriano. Colvin at second. Cubs with 2 here in the inning to get the lead back. Alvarez across to Jones to end the inning. 2 hits on 3 hits, 2 runs, and the Cubs lead 3-1. Make sure you check out our weekly podcast at WGNTV.com. We have been on site most of the year, but the podcast studios are available to us, we are told, whenever we want to use them. Got to get back up there.
Of course, the staff, we always give them the week before and after Labor Day off for all their hard work throughout the season. So, the studio is probably empty today.
The 1-0 pitch to Alvarez misses low and outside. 2-0. Diamond came in for the injured Tom Gorzolani in the third. The way it works out now against the righty, they have 4 consecutive left-handed hitters if you count the switch hitters, Walker and Domet. With Jones and Alvarez sandwiched in between.
I mentioned Neil Walker earlier, the switch hitter. It's equally well for average from both sides of the plate. Maybe a little more pop as a right-handed hitter, but Ryan Domet, the other switch hitter, you love to turn him around to the right side of the plate whenever possible. Much more accomplished hitter as a left-hander.
bouncer to DeWitt. Short toss to Hoffpower. Looks at a strike. The first time all season the San Diego Padres are slumping. They've lost 6 in a row. First place team out west, beaten last night by the Diamondbacks. They still maintain a 4-game lead over the Giants, who won last night on Andres Torres home run in the 8th to beat the Rockies.
The Rockies and Giants kind of beating up on each other, minimizing the damage for that losing streak that the Padres are going through right now. It could be a lot worse if either San Francisco or Colorado was red hot.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Elevated fastball from Thomas Diamond by design. We talked about it when he came into the game. He's done a real nice job of keeping the ball down in the strike zone, but occasionally when he gets to 2 strikes, he'll throw one up there around the letters like that. Get some swinging strikes.
One and one to Cedeno. The NL West standings board, we saw the Dodgers 9 games out and in 4th place. A little closer in the wild card, 6.5 out, but in 5th. In that chase, reportedly Ted Lilly was claimed by the Yankees, but the Dodgers pulled him back. So it looks like Ted will finish the year as a Dodger. Yesterday was a key date. Jeff Rancourt got traded to Texas by the Mets. Because you have to be in a team's organization before September 1st to be eligible for the postseason roster. So now that we are into September, anyone who changes organizations will not be able to play in the playoffs. Swing and a miss to end the inning. It's 3-1 Cubs in the 4th. Day here at Wrigley Field. The 2010 Stanley Cup champs are looking forward to the 2010-2011 season. We'll be giving away pocket schedules and training camp festival brochures before the game, as well as autographed items in between innings. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Mets at 1:20. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. We have been given word that Norris Trophy winner Duncan Keith will sing the 7th inning stretch. What a year was for him. Olympic gold medalist, a Stanley Cup champ, and the top defenseman in the league. I hear that name now. I think of our good radio buddies Dan McNeil and Matt Spiegel, who came up with the AC/DC spoof. Duncan Keith, and he's got no teeth. Darwin Barney with a base hit. Darwin Barney might not know this because it was just announced, but he and Brad Snyder of the Iowa Cubs have been named to the 2010 All-Pacific Coast League team. So congrats to Darwin.
Absolutely.
Who is 2 for 2. Coy Hill with an RBI double, his first time up. Played pretty much every day when Giovanni Soto was on the disabled list. Gio came back last week. Coy didn't see much time, but Soto day to day with the knee, and Hill in a really nice offensive stretch.
Talked to Gio before the ball game day. Says feeling much better. Came out, did some throwing drills, with batting practice in the cage with some of his teammates. Judging from the batting practice we saw yesterday, it doesn't seem to bother him much at the plate. He was swinging the bat extremely well, but obviously any knee injury, when you're a catcher, got to be extremely careful.
Hitters count here for Coy, 2-0. A nice note from Kenneth and Dolores McCoy. 2 days they will celebrate their 63rd wedding anniversary. September 3rd, 1947 they got married. They live in Crete, Illinois. Longtime Cub fans, and we'll send out our congratulations.
Send along a thank you to the Milani family from Russellville, Kentucky. Sent up a couple of old scorecards that they had laying around at home when I was still playing with the San Francisco Giants. As you get a look at Alvarez, saw a foul ball in that same area. Didn't hit that lady in the back, but right in that same area last night. It's a tough location for a third baseman and a shortstop, with the bleachers jutting out there, the bullpen home plate area. Last night there were catchers at the home plate area. A lot of obstacles to overcome to get over there in time to make a catch.
Got the bullpen phone. Mark DeRosa banged into the box around the phone last year when he came in with Cleveland. Donald gets a sign from Snyder. Here's a pitch. Way out in front. And tapped it foul. This note from Marilyn Leveling from Fort Madison, Iowa. Cheers on the Cubs every day. So a shout out to Marilyn Horcher from Salem, Arkansas. Watching a WGN America. Coy went around, did not get a piece of the ball. And that is a strikeout.
Looked like that curveball down and into Coy Hill. He was definitely in swing mode with 2 strikes, just trying to foul off everything, give McDonald an opportunity to make a mistake, but curveball in the dirt, just too tempting. He could not hold up.
Barney did advance on a wild pitch. We'll bring up Diamond. Every game in this series, Bob, the Cubs have had at least one relief pitcher come up and bat. Game 1, we saw the starter Zambrano hit a 2-run homer. Thomas Diamond got an at bat. So did James Russell last night. Ryan Dempster, the starter, did not get an at bat. Zambrano pinch hit for him, and later Marcos Mateo got an at bat.
It's a rare treat for those relief pitchers to get an opportunity to put a helmet on and grab a bat and go up there and take their hacks. They don't even get to take batting practice on a daily basis. Usually only the starting pitchers take BP before the regulars take their batting practice.
McDonald wants to talk with Snyder. Another rough year for the Pirates. All-time record 18 straight losing seasons. That's an all-time major sports record. The last winning season was 1992. And those were some really good clubs, those early 90s Pirates teams under Jim Leyland. One on Diamond.
And it's getting to be that time of year, Len. We see X's on the standings. Pirates in the National League, the Baltimore Orioles in the American League, the first 2 teams to be officially mathematically eliminated.
Orioles have played good ball, though, under their new manager, Buck Showalter. They're 17-10. They just completed their first winning August since 1997. Called strike 3 on a curveball. 2 away and back to the top and Blake DeWitt. I see James McDonald. We were talking about Aroldis Chapman. James McDonald's all legs. .64 as he deals a strike to DeWitt. Jones had to leave his feet, got up quickly, and McDonald beats DeWitt to first base. That'll end the inning. Leadoff single by Barney. He's stranded at second. It's 3-1 Cubs at the end of 4. Game of the season series. Cubs trying to avoid losing their 5th series this season to the Pirates. That hasn't happened since 1990. And they carry a 2-run lead into the 5th. 1-0 on catcher Chris Snyder. Big swing and a miss. Snyder leads all catchers in fielding percentage this season. Only 1 error in his first 81 games. Only 2 errors since 2007. Diamonds 1-2. Missed low. There was a connection between Diamond and the Cubs front office before he was claimed off waivers from Texas. Got him looking. Consecutive strikeout.
Diamond with a little bit of cut on that fastball. Starts it just off the plate inside. Runs it back to the inside corner. You see the reaction from Snyder. He thought that pitch was going to be well inside.
Diamond pitched for Randy Bush, the Cubs assistant general manager, when Randy was a head coach at the University of New Orleans. 2-0 on the pitcher McDonald. Diamond did not pitch in 07 after Tommy John surgery. He then had right ankle surgery in September of 2008. He's battled back from a couple of injuries. Three and one. Just caught the inside edge. 3-2. It is the 5th inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Let's hope the dreaded walk to the pitcher does not bite Thomas Diamond. Off power playing behind McDonald at first. Low, 1-1. Cardinals had a 2-0 lead at Houston, but the Astros got 4 in the 5th inning and lead 4-2. Three-run homer by Hunter Pence. And Holiday earlier hit a 2-run shot. Cardinals have dropped 7 of 8 to fall 7 games out. Rookie lefty Scott Maine up for the Cubs. As well as Diamond has pitched to this point again. Hasn't been stretched out for a while. So the Cubs are going to need several relievers to get through this game. That's drilled out into the alley for McCutchen. McDonald is on his way to third. He's going to be sent home by Tony Beasley. Here comes the throw from Castro. And with those long strides, McDonald easily able to score. So that walk does come back to haunt Diamond. It's now 3-2. Pitcher goes first to home on the double.
Well, you hope in the long run that that'll take something out of James McDonald. McCutchen driving that ball into the gap in left center field. We were closely watching Tony Beasley, the third base coach, to see if he was going to chance sending his pitcher, but as you can clearly see, McDonald scores easily. Castro's throw to the plate tailed well up the third base side.
In terms of conditioning, just in general terms, Bob, we talk about pitchers, really the two things they're asked to do. The number one thing is to pitch. But the other thing pretty much every pitcher does between starts is run. And so you would like to think that going first to home, while it is a pretty long run, that's not going to kill a guy's conditioning for the rest of the day.
It's not so much the distance of the run. It's different from what they normally do. Normally you'll see pitchers running along the warning track from foul pole to foul pole dozens of times in between starts, but rarely do they get out on the bases with cleats on and have to turn corners and accelerate from base to base. So it's a different kind of running. Yeah, I don't think the distance itself really bothers pitchers too much, but picking up coaches and turning the corners at each base is a little different for them.
A little more stressful than wearing the iPod and jogging around the warning track.
Yeah, with your sneakers on. Yeah.
Tying run now in scoring position, and McCutchen with great wheels should easily be able to score on a single. 1-0 on Tabata. Who literally knocked Tom Gorzolani out of this game. Hit a rocket right back to the mound in the third inning. Gorzolani injured his left hand, and Tabata gets hit. All got away from Thomas Diamond.
This pitch was inside, moving Tabata off the plate. Diamond tries to come right back inside with another fastball. This one gets away from him. Yeah, looked like it caught Tabata right in the rib cage.
That will be it for Diamond as Mike Quade is coming out. Second visit of the inning for the Cubs. I don't think there was any intent there, but it's obvious Diamond trying to avoid the middle of the plate against a guy who really hit one on the screws the last time up. Here's Scott Maine coming in. We'll be back. 3-2 Cubs.
Time, here we go.
Left-hander Scott Maine will come in. Neil Walker hit right-handed in the first inning and singled off Gorzolani. Turned around, batted lefty against Thomas Diamond in the third, and he hit an opposite field home run. So he's back to the right-handed batter's box. He's the last guy in this series who the Cubs want to face with an RBI chance. Walker now with 14 knocked in over his last 8 games, including today. Outside corner from Maine. He throws pretty hard. See him get that fastball up into the mid-90s. This is his 3rd major league appearance. Bounce to Barney. He's going to make the long throw to second in time. They get Tabata. That bouncer took a circuitous route to Darwin Barney, who made an adjustment behind the bag and was able to get 1. So 2 down in the inning.
Ooh, that ball shot away from him at the last instant. He's still able to recover and throw on to Blake DeWitt. That ball actually hit the bag and squirted away from Darwin Barney. Good field awareness to know that the only play he possibly had was at second base, and a strong, accurate throw was able to get the lead runner there at second.
Swing and a miss. Well, so far, and Scott Maine took notice, the Achilles heel of Garrett Jones, that first inning at bat against Tom Gorzolani was the slider. Sticking with it.
And still is.
Expand even more. And he got it. 3 straight sliders to get Garrett Jones. They do get 1. The Cubs lead now 3-2. Fifth. First day of September. Here's McDonald. Working to Starlin Castro. those hot days. We're in September, but it feels like August. Two and 0 to Castro. I asked Starlin today, favorite player growing up. I mentioned two names. Miguel Tejada, been around for a while, and Hanley Ramirez. The best all-around players in the game today. But he's still growing up. He's 20 years old.
As hard as this would probably be for Starlin Castro to believe, there's probably youngsters down in the Dominican Republic that say Starlin Castro is their favorite player.
I told him that very same thing. Yep. Let's also be careful what you wish for. It makes you feel old when you ask Starlin, who'd you grow up rooting for? He says, Hanley Ramirez. Oh. I feel really old. Hanley Ramirez is 26. Still 3-2. .41 hits in August for Castro, the most by a Cubs rookie in any month since Ernie Banks had 43 hits back in August of 1954, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. Tabata has been really good here in the second half. He was called up on June 9th. Tied with Castro for second among all NL players in hits. Another 3-2, and it's drilled out into right center. What an at bat. He's 2 for 3.
Well, you just hope Starlin Castro is able to maintain this same approach going into next season. He gets a couple of good rips every at bat for pitches to try to pull to left field or left center, and then with 2 strikes, he's willing to give in and go to the opposite field. A lot of his base hits have been just like the one we saw right there.
Along those lines, I think that's why the number 2 spot is the perfect spot in the lineup for him. It's the one spot for a right-handed hitter. You really put a premium on going the other way. And if you put him more in a run-producing spot, he might try to get a little more pull-happy. Probably not a prototypical leadoff guy in that he's not going to take a ton of walks. He has done an excellent job in that 2-hole. Fukudome stays hot. Even after a couple of days off, back in the lineup, he's reached all 3 times. But his hits lately, Bob, have not been cheap hits by any stretch. He's been hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, driving the ball out of the ballpark to right field, hitting gappers. This one a smoked single into center field. Much more balanced at the plate. We haven't seen that spinorama swing for a long time.
It's Daniel McCutchen warming up for the visitors. Just got up. In the dirt to Michael Hoffpower. 2 on, nobody out. Cubs leading 3-2. Runners go, and it squirts right through the legs of Snyder. If not for a slip at third by Castro, he might have considered trying to score. It'll be a double steal to give Castro and Fukudome a stolen base.
Yeah, the rule on that is if the runners are breaking on the pitch and the ball happens to get away from the catcher the way it got away from Chris Snyder, the runners are credited with the stolen base. If they're not running as the pitch is delivered, then it would go as a wild pitch, both runners moving up one base.
7 for Castro, 6th of the year for Kosuke. The infield now in. Cubs went into action with the fewest steals in the majors with 46. They were one behind 3 teams. A pop-up, and it'll keep both runners right where they are. Alvarez calling off Cedeno. Colvin 1 for 2 with an RBI double. 50 knocked in. We have a big helmet for the nachos, a small helmet for dessert.
Big helmet, you just go to the concession stand and say, I'll have the Kevin Mensch. They'll give you the big helmet full of nachos, and if you want the dessert, you ask for the Juan Pierre.
That's right. Fastball inside. 2-1.
Talk about how the Pirates have tried to stay in on the hands of Alfonso Soriano in this series. They're doing the same thing to Tyler Colvin. Anybody that's seen Tyler take any at bats at all knows that when he gets his hands extended, that's when he does the most damage. Change up down and out of the strike zone that time.
Castro at third, Fukudome right behind him at second. The kick and the 2-2 pitch. And Jones is going to step on first for the second out with the runners holding again. That pitch was up. Colvin could only get a bouncer to Garrett Jones.
With 2 strikes, you can't be quite as selective and look for a pitch up in the zone that you could possibly lift in the air to the outfield. You've got to protect the plate. That curveball with a lot of downward movement. Tyler only able to hit the top part of the baseball and ground weakly to first.
We're going to talk here with first base open how they want to approach Soriano. Darwin Barney is on deck. Donald has retired Soriano both times. Barney's 2 for 2.
Well, I seriously doubt if the Pirates are going to change their approach to Soriano. They're going to pound him in with fastballs, throw breaking balls off of the outside corner, maybe elevate some fastballs. This is just a how do you feel meeting. Would you rather go after the veteran Soriano, who 0 for 2 in the game, or whoever that kid is in the on-deck circle that's already 2 for 2?
We have our answer. They're going to intentionally walk Soriano.
I talked earlier in the ball game about the splits for James McDonald, times facing an opponent in a game. The first plate appearance, opponent's hitting .204 against him. Second plate appearance, it jumps up to a .250 batting average. In the third go round, .412.
And the third time through the order today, Cubs are 2 for 5, which is a .400 average. Bases loaded. Darwin Barney at the plate. Cubs had 2 in scoring position with nobody out at one point. He shows bunt, but had no intention of playing down a bunt. That's a strike. CHN moving to his right, and that's it. Well, McDonald escapes a big-time jam with no damage done, and it remains 3-2. Indiana is today's Hit the Jackpot with Powerball contestant. If the Cubs hit a home run in the next inning, Donna Wilk will win 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot. Tonight's jackpot is worth $34 million. Well, James McDonald was in a bit of a spot. Second and third, nobody out. And the 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up, he would eventually get out of it with no runs. Scott Maine back out there, got the final 2 outs of the 5th. 1-0 on Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez is from New York City and went to Vanderbilt as the second overall pick in 2008. His signing was rather controversial. It appeared he had agreed to a deal just before the August signing deadline, but his agent Scott Boras claimed there was no deal. That dispute was whether the contract was completed before the deadline, which was collectively bargained by MLB and the union. He was then put on the restricted list. The union filed a grievance. Eventually they settled, and he signed a 4-year major league contract. to Horace Mann High School in New York. 3-1 is way outside. The leadoff man is on. Brings up Ryan Doman. Scott Maine, a very interesting story. He's from South Florida, went to the University of Miami. He had to battle through Tommy John surgery and a major head injury suffered in a car crash while he was in college. So he's had to overcome some adversity. And here he is in the majors. They got him from Arizona in the Aaron Heilman deal last November.
In his short time here, Scott Maine has shown, as you said half an inning ago, he's got a really good arm. Fastball sits in the mid-90s. Good slider, especially against left-handed hitters. Still doesn't really have a polished off-speed pitch, a change-up or a splitter or anything to go with his other two pitches, but his role figures to be middle relief, left-handed specialist type of a guy, and you really only need two pitches you can command to do that successfully.
Barney to DeWitt. Time for the turn. They get it. They go around the horn for a double play. Sometimes you have to hurry up on that relay throw, but that ball was struck so hard, and Barney got it to DeWitt quickly. Blake had lots of time to make that relay toss.
Yeah, and you know your runner at home plate. You know you've got a little bit of extra time with Doman coming out of that right-handed batter's box, and Barney takes an extra crow hop just to make sure he has an accurate throw to Blake DeWitt, and DeWitt completes the double play easily. For Green Day, you've got to know your enemy. Know who the runner is at first. Is he likely to come barreling into second base, or is he the kind of guy that might peel off toward right field? The hitter at the plate, is he going to be quick down the line, or is he a plodding runner? And put all those things into a computer, and it tells you how quickly you have to turn that double play.
We're very lyrically in tune today.
I got the music in me.
So you're right in tune. Andrew Kashner coming on. We see a double switch. 3-2 Cubs in the sixth. Comes in to play first, moving Micah Hoffpower from first to left. Alfonso Soriano done for the afternoon. And rookie right-hander Andrew Kashner will work to Chris Snyder. Runner at first, 2 outs in the 6th as the Cubs lead 3-2.
Mentioned Thomas Diamond has been very effective pitching out of the bullpen recently. Andrew Cashner as well has kind of turned his season around, had some real tough luck outings over the last 3 or 4 weeks, but his last 3 times out he's been really good.
Check on Cedeno. Cashner with a birthday coming up in 10 days. He'll turn 24 on the 11th. Is it just me, or does it seem like there have been base runners almost exclusively throughout this series on both sides? Talk about rhythm. Sometimes a starting pitcher can get in a nice groove, working 1, 2, 3 innings, getting the ball back. Nice pace. We just have not seen it in the series. And the scores in the first 2 games would be indicative of that, 14-2 and 14-7. But even in a 3-2 game in the 6th today, there's been a lot of traffic. Leadoff man's been on a few times for both teams.
That always changes the pace of the game. Now you're concerned about the runner at first base. Some pickoff attempts over there. The pitcher may hold the ball one time a little extra long, trying to freeze the runner. Defense has to position themselves a little differently. The entire game changes when you get base runners, and one of the side effects is the slower pace.
The walk to Snyder. That'll bring up John Bowker. Got the call up today, and he'll pinch hit for McDonald. On Friday, join Lynn Bramer from 93 XRT, Chicago's finest rock, as he leads the fans in singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" during the 7th inning stretch. Show your support for Lynn and 93 XRT by joining him here at Wrigley when the Cubs battle the Mets at 1:20 this Friday. Go to Cubs.com and use coupon code WXRT to buy your tickets today. James McDonald right now on the hook for the loss. He's hoping his team can at least tie it and maybe give him a chance at a win. They can get a couple of runs. Here's Bowker, acquired from the Giants on July 31st, along with right-hander Joe Martinez, in exchange for lefty Javier Lopez. He was hitting .319 with 4 homers in 25 games at AAA Indianapolis. And happened to be the Giants' opening day right fielder. Hit just .207 before going to the minors. One and one. He spent the first 2 months in the big leagues, in the minors since, and he'll spend the final month back in the show, this time with a new club.
My recollection of John Bowker in his days with the San Francisco Giants, good fastball hitter, especially pitches from the middle of the plate in and down. He will chase the high fastball. He will chase off-speed pitches in the dirt.
97 from Cashner. Overcast skies almost throughout the day. The wind has shifted a little bit. It was out of the northwest. Now it seems to be out of the east or southeast, not blowing very hard. Old foul off the tarp. Another 1-2. Called strike 3. That'll end the inning. Still 3-2 Cubs.
CRV game summary. Neil Walker, the Pirates' second baseman, stays hot, 2 for 3 today, extending his hitting streak to 9 games. And Tom Gorzolani, with 1 out in the third inning, struck by a line drive off the bat of Jose Tabata. He had to leave the ball game. We hope he's doing okay. Cubs lead at 3-2. Visit your Honda dealer and test drive a 2010 Honda CRV.
Right-hander Daniel McCutchen, be the first Pirate reliever to work in this one. Cubs having to piece it together today with a starter getting knocked out in the third inning. Coy Hill will start it. Cutchin's been good in relief. 2 earned runs in 13 innings in his 10 relief outings. 4th stint with the Pirates, called up July 31st. Roller right to Ronnie Cedeno. Throws out Hill. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Xavier Nady gets his first AB today. He's been in a nice stretch with a 5-game hitting streak. McCutchen made 8 starts earlier this year, had a 6.92. But again, as a reliever, a 138. This has been a much better role for him. Left-hander Will Ledesma is up for the Pirates. Evan Meek, their important late inning guys, has been unavailable because he took a liner off his pitching hand in Milwaukee over the weekend. So Meek day to day with a bruised right hand. Cedeno, the off-balance throw right on the mark. We've seen Ronnie make some plays like that. Very athletic, good range. 2 down.
Judgment wasn't always sound, especially as a base runner, but he could do this with the best of them. Running away from his target, throws back across his body, and plenty of time to get Xavier Nady at first base.
The Witt's been fairly quiet here the last couple of days. 0 for 5 with an RBI last night, 0 for 3 and then leadoff spot. Once again today as he bounces foul past Bob Dernier, and hear that Pirate bullpen. Why not kick your feet up? Lazy Wednesday afternoon. Line shot. Domit will make the catch as he went down to his knees. A 1-2-3-6 for McCutchen. 3-2 Cubs to the 7th. AT&T U-verse replay. We had a shot of the fan earlier making a nice catch and stuffing it in his pocket, which we didn't have a big problem with, although there were kids in the area. This gentleman caught the foul ball, some high fives, and then give it to a kid.
Very nice.
Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T Rethink Possible.
Now, you know that first guy, when he gets home, all his friends and family are going to dog him. Hey, they had a shot of you sticking that ball in your pocket. There was a kid sitting right behind you.
McCutchen ground ball sharply hit at Darwin Barney. He gets the out by half a step.
Fundamental play down there by Darwin Barney. Stays in front of the ball, almost goes all the way down to the right knee. Knew that ball was hit extremely hard, but still has to rush his throw in time to get McCutchen at first.
Tabata bunts. Cashner off the mound and gets the out. fastball were maybe 5 feet more to the left of Cashner off the bat. It's probably a base hit, but Cashner was able to get off the mound quickly. Nicely done.
And just 2 or 3 steps to his right to field the ball, throws on for the out at first. You're right. If you can make that pitcher run far enough off of the mound, get his momentum going toward that third base line, make it a tougher throw, you might be able to leg that one out. But as it is, a nice play by Cashner.
There's Neil Walker, 2 outs, nobody on. Low for ball 1. Kiss FM morning show. Going to handle the stretch today. Drex, Mel, T, and Angie. 3-part harmonies. Cashner's 2-0. Below the knees, 3-0. Houston leading St. Louis 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th in Houston. Phillies leading the Dodgers in LA 2-0 in the 5th. Roy Oswalt and Clayton Kershaw on the mound. Jimmy Rollins with a leadoff homer in that game. That's sliced into the left field corner. It's going to be fair as Hoffpower will get it back in quickly, but not before Walker, representing the tying run, is at second base. So he's a triple away from the cycle.
I'll tell you, Neil Walker has had an extremely impressive series here at Wrigley Field. He has sprayed base hits from foul line to foul line. The barrel of the bat on everything. Fastballs, breaking pitches, change-ups. Sometimes guys just get in those zones, and when they are, you're almost better off just pitching around them and taking your chances with the next guy, although Garrett Jones has had a nice series himself.
Former Cup Darrell Ward as a Pirate, 04, the last Pittsburgh player to hit for the cycle. And as Mike Quaddy is going to make yet another double switch. It involved Blake DeWitt since he made the last out in the 6th. Sean Marshall's going to be the pitcher, we know that. And Jeff Baker will come in. And third with Darwin Barney going to second. 3-2 Cubs in the 7th. We'll be back. We'll move Darwin Barney over to second. Blake DeWitt is out.
John Marshall was an inning in the 3rd in the ball game last night. Was really good. 3 punch outs. And we've seen the struggles of Garrett Jones at the plate against left-handed breaking balls in this game today. I got a feeling he's going to get a belly full of them right here.
Walker at second, 2 outs. Low for ball 1. Foul on the play. That was a fastball at 89. It's Alvarez on deck. Marshall turned 28 2 days ago. 6'7", 220 pounds. Jones couldn't help himself. Might have nightmares tonight about sliders from left-handed pitchers.
Last night we were worried about spiders. Today Garrett Jones worried about sliders. Spiders and sliders. Everybody's scared of something.
A breaking ball of phobia. All right, we'll see what this gentleman does with that souvenir. Not that we're trying to influence anybody.
No, I mean, you're always more than welcome to do whatever you want with a baseball that you happen to catch at the ballpark. But look at the face on that kid. Come on. Jeez.
Downtrodden.
Losing all faith in adults. Jones able to stay alive, fouling off a couple of low 90s fastballs. I think he's probably set up for that last breaking ball, either the big over-the-top curve or the sharp slider.
Marshall ready. Another 1-2 on the way, and he got him. Stretch time.
Conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game are from the Kiss FM Morning Show, Drex, LT, and Angie.
All right, everybody, if you have your Harry Carey mask, please put it on. This is for our hometown, always to be legendary hero, Harry Carey. All right, fans, a one-up, and a two-up, and a three.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back.
Give it out, that's brilliant.
Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. 4 is 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
God love you, Touchy and Harry.
Our PNC Cubs achiever, the great Harry Carey, joined the Cubs following the 1981 season, went into the Hall of Fame in 1989, over a half-century of broadcasting excellence. PNC Bank proud to be an official sponsor of the Chicago Cubs, just as proud to support the fans and community who cheer them on. PNC for the achiever in us all. Harry always looking down on us as the Cubs play here at Wrigley Field. It's always an honor to be in this booth. And great to have with us Drex from the KISS FM 103.5 morning show.
Well, what an honor it is to be here on this great day. Glenn and Bob, I have to tell you, I've, being in radio, been around the country, followed WGN all around with the Cubbies, and it's a special day. And, God bless Harry Carey, and for sure, Dutchie, very special lady, and always will be a radio legend for sure, Harry. We miss him.
Statue rededication before the game as Castro got hit. That just caught his jersey. You're going to get hit. That's where you want to get it. And the leadoff man is on as the Cubs try to tack on here in the 7th.
Fastball running up and in. Just caught the jersey. Didn't even put a wrinkle in it. Yeah, that's, if you got to get hit by a pitch, that's the kind you like right there. Didn't even leave a mark.
John Russell coming out. Looks like he's going to make a move. Rex, thanks for stopping by today.
You bet.
Enjoyed your rendition very much.
Well, thank you. Did I nail that?
You nailed it.
Nailed it.
Better than the opening first pitch. Yes, this is much better. Thank you, gentlemen.
We'll be back. Left-hander Will Ledesma making his second appearance in the series, a 1-2-3-8 in a blowout Monday night. His team down big. Team trailing again today, but this time it's 3-2. You've got Fukudome, Hoffpower, and Colvin due up. So this was a no-brainer for John Russell to bring in a lefty. Kosuke rips it foul into the bullpen. Right now, Bob, it doesn't seem to matter. Righty lefty. Fukudome's locked in.
Scatters a gallery down that right field line. Hooking line drive. Those guys didn't know which direction to run.
Big leg kick, swing and a miss. Two is in the dirt outside on a slider. Well, you get late in a game, you have a left-handed batter with a left-handed pitcher on the mound. Way more oftentimes than not, you're going to see some fastballs, but mostly sliders.
And usually the fastballs you see are not in a location where you can get a good swing at. It's more of a show-me pitch just to give a different velocity to the hitter to gauge and then go right back to those breaking pitches.
Check on Castro.
All the attention being paid to Starlin Castro and his pursuit of the National League batting championship. He's 6 out of 12 in stolen bases this year. He does have base stealing speed. Some of those 6 caught stealings were broken hit and runs when he was thrown out at second base, and a couple of other instances when he just didn't get a good enough jump to steal a base.
Out in the left center field. McCutchen will backhand. Castro's going to be held at third with nobody out. Got by the first cutoff man, but Ivan De Jesus didn't want to take any chances with no outs. So Fukudome with a double. He's had a perfect afternoon, 3 for 3.
Felt high fastball right in the middle of the plate. That's the pitch that usually a left-handed pitcher is not willing to give to a left-handed hitter. A fastball somewhere out over the plate where they can make solid contact, and Fukudome was ready for it and drove it into that gap in left center once again.
Cubs with a chance to add on in the 5th, 2nd, and 3rd, nobody out. And it happened to be Castro and Fukudome. They did not get a run. So Michael Hoffpauir with a second opportunity. He popped out in his at bat against the right-hander McDonald. The 0-1 is low. Veteran Chan-Ho Park is up. Lined into right center. Castro scores 4-2. So lefty against lefty has worked out well for the Cubs in this inning.
Michael Hoffpauir hanging tough against the left-handed pitcher right there. He smoked that ball. Worked to his advantage that the Pirates had their infield drawn in. I think if they were playing at a normal depth or even a halfway depth, that ball goes right to Neil Walker at second base, but he hit it so hard that Walker couldn't react to it. Got over his head into right field quickly.
Shallow left. Cedeno coming out, and he makes the catch, the basket catch, running away from home plate. He was playing way in, and with top of the back, Ronnie at some point realized, I'm going to have to catch it. He did.
That's a pretty nice running catch by Ronnie Cedeno. You saw that last look back to his left fielder to see if he had any chance to make the play, and once Cedeno realized it's me or nobody, he went out there and made the play.
We'll see Park with right-handed hitting. Jeff Baker coming up. All the lyrical references today. I was just glad you said hanging tough, but you did not further quote New Kids on the Block.
No.
4-2 Cubs in the 7th.
Ultimate drive. It came back in the third inning. Tyler Colvin with an RBI double to right field. That RBI was number 50 on the season for the Cubs outfielder. Now's your chance to lease a new BMW 3 Series for $439 a month with nothing down and no security deposit. Visit ChicagolandBMW.com for details.
Base hit, Jeff Baker. Scoring Fukudome. It's 5-2. Hit coming off veteran Chan-Ho Park. Picked off waivers from the Yankees on August 4th. Baker now 6 for his last 12. Still only 1 out. First and second, 2 runs in. Strike to Darwin Barney. Somebody in the Pirate dugout tumbled off the steps. That ball actually hit the barrier. Carlos Garcia, the first base coach, sitting on the top step. I guess he's okay. He is exposed in that spot, but the ball didn't hit him.
He's lucky the ball didn't hit him.
I think he's going to move from that spot.
You mentioned Chan-Ho Park came over in early August. With Snyder just recently from the Diamondbacks, and this time of year you get a lot of player movement, you get a lot of call-ups from the minor leagues, and pitchers and catchers aren't always on the same page as far as signs, especially with the runner at second base.
Park has been around the block a few times. An all-star with the Dodgers in 01. That was his original organization. Then to Texas. Signed a huge free agent contract with the Rangers. Been a Padre, a Met, a Philly, a Yankee, and now a Pirate. First Korean player to play in the major leagues. And his first major league win came 14 years ago here at Wrigley Field as a Dodger. Swing and a miss, strike 3 to get Barney. High in the air to right. Did he get enough of this one? Doman is back right at the wall, and he makes the catch as Coy Hill was bidding for a 3-run shot. Would have been his second in 2 days. They get 2. It's now 5-2. Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. See that guy's ribs, man.
You can see his heart, too.
A 3-run lead, largest advantage of the day for the Cubs. 1-0 on Alvarez. Sean Marshall came on, struck out Garrett Jones with the tying run at second base in the 7th. That one caught the zone 1-1. It's over in Houston. 5-2 Astros. They get the sweep. Cardinals have scored 4 runs their last 4 games. They've lost 5 in a row. And 8 of 9. And they will limp home to play the Reds starting Friday night. They've got their pitching lined up, Bob. 3 starters with an ERA under 3. Garcia, Wainwright, and Carpenter. Lately it hasn't seemed to matter as Alvarez strikes out.
The Reds play later tonight against the Brewers. It'll be Johnny Cueto in his 12-4 record against Chris Narveson 10-7. Reds just keep rolling along as Sean Marshall blows a high fastball right past Alvarez. A good matchup on paper tonight out in San Francisco. Ubaldo Jimenez and Tim Lincecum. Now, Lincecum has been struggling mightily over his last 6 starts, but at some point you figure he's going to bust out and twirl a gem. It just might happen to be tonight. That'll be a good one to watch.
Jimenez 1-3 over his last 5, but a 2.83 ERA. It's a big game for both teams. Three 3-0 to Doman. Ball 4. Cedeno 2 hits and 3 tries, including a double in his first AB. Caught the corner. Seeing reports now, Ken Rosenthal from FoxSports.com, that the Dodgers would like to keep Ted Lilly, who's due to become a free agent, sign him to a contract extension. Ted back with his original organization. Steven Strasburg will have Tommy John surgery on Friday. High chopper going to be tough to turn to. They won't get anybody as Castro charged on the short hop, and the Pirates have the tying run coming up.
That's a true definition of a do or die play. If Starlin Castro lays back, there's no chance to get an out, so he tried to charge and smother that ball on the short up. Unfortunately, it got over his glove into shallow left field. Heads up play by Darwin Barney, busting it over from his second base position to back up the play.
Larry Rothschild coming out, still waiting for a scoring decision. That's actually a very tough decision, I think, for a scorer. It will be an error on Castro. It was not a particularly routine hop, even though it was hit at him and it clanged off his glove. So he is charged with an error.
Basically, it's an error because Starlin chose to field it aggressively. He could have laid back, played that ball in a big hop, and probably gotten the out at first base, but he tried to charge it, smother the ball, and get the double play.
So no hits in the inning, but a walk and an error. And Chris Snyder with home run power, 13 on the season, including a couple here at Wrigley Field as a Diamondback, will dig in. Five career homers here at Wrigley. In terms of road ballparks, Snyder has only hit more home runs at Dodger Stadium, with 7. Called strike 2, 1-2.
Good double play candidate right here. Sean Marshall can execute something along the bottom of the strike zone, try to get a ground ball once again at his infield.
Sean Marshall already with a career high in strikeouts. Currently with 80 on the year. Make it 81 as he rings up Snyder.
Backdoor breaking pitch. Comes up right down the middle of the plate for Snyder. Obviously looking for something else.
Switch hitting utility man Delwyn Young will make his first appearance in the series, pinch hitting for Park. Wow, we have another double switch. This might be a record. 3 of them. Mike Quaddy trying to gain a maximum advantage with the lineup and avoiding the pitchers, and he's going to bring in his closer with 2 outs in the 8th. Aramis Ramirez will come in to play third. So Jeff Baker is out. We will keep it right here.
With the pitcher spot, 2 up second in the bottom half of the 8th inning for the Cubs, and you want to get obviously more than just this inning out of Carlos Marmol. You either have him hit for himself in that second spot, or you make the double switch and bring in another hitter, which Mike Quaddy does by inserting Ramirez at third base. He will hit in the leadoff spot in the lineup. Carlos Marmol will hit in the 6th spot in the lineup.
Third baseman of the day. We started with Barney, then Baker, now Ramirez. Hey, Cub fans, if you'd like to manage the game along with Mike Quaddy, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner. and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio and play sets, hot tubs, and more. So this will be a save opportunity for Carlos Marmol. Talking about strikeouts, he's on pace for 135. That would set the Cubs' all-time record for a relief pitcher in a single season. Bruce Sutter struck out 129 in 1977. Elwin Young takes a slider for a strike. Dribbles away from Hill, but Dolman's going to hold it second. Rattling around in the Pirate dugout right through the opening.
And once it gets in there, it ricochets all over the place. Nice.
Able to barely stay alive.
Good hard slider down in underneath the hands. I thought he swung and missed. Apparently got just a piece of it. Yeah, he did. Well, started right on the inside corner and then fell down and in off the plate.
Pop to right. Ukadome is over, but this ball is going to find the seats. Marmol, this is his 30th save opportunity as he tries to get his 25th successful rescue. It's his 301st career appearance. In 369 and 2/3 innings in his career, he has 473 strikeouts.
That is just mind-boggling.
And it all changed when he became a reliever. As a starter in 06, for the most part, 6 relief outings, but 13 starts, 59 strikeouts in 77 innings, 59 walks. Stuff got a lot nastier when he became a full-time reliever. Ball 4 to load him up.
As we have seen from time to time this season, walks can still be an issue for Carlos Marmol and hit batters and falling behind in counts. But fortunately, for the most part, he pitches himself into and out of jams.
He has been able to avoid giving up home runs, only 3 allowed over the last 2 seasons combined. 3 homers in 136 innings. 0-2 on McCutchen. McCutchen held 1-2.
Sliders in a row. Barely able to check the swing that time.
Pitch is so enticing. And it leaves Marmol's hand. It looks like a strike. He's up about a foot wide of the strike zone. He's made a lot of hitters look pretty foolish. 2-2, and we'll do it again. Action pitch, everybody on the move, and another foul. Still 3-2. Significant here that it's gone to a full count, because anything in a gap is going to tie this game. And Young should be standing on second base when that ball lands if McCutchen makes contact.
And also significant because McCutchen has had a chance to see a number of those Carlos Marmol sliders. Only one fastball in the sequence so far, and it was well off the plate outside.
Ball 4 to force in a run. That'll bring up Tabata. Nobody up in the Cubs pen. This game is Carlos Marmol's, not only the 8th but the 9th.
Boy, you need to end it right here with Tabata. The guy in the on-deck circle is the hottest hitter in the universe in this series. Neil Walker.
Fastball strike. Slider, swing and a miss. But a 1 for 2 with a double against Marmol, but he swings and misses, so now 1 for 3. They get 1, but the Cubs still lead 5-3. Welcome back. Bottom of the 8th. The Cubs leading 5-3. The number one thing today is that Tom Gorzolani is okay. He was going to have an X-ray on his left hand. He got knocked out in the 3rd inning. The bullpen has picked up the slack, and the Cubs lead by 2.
Yeah, you just hope to patch these kind of games together. When the starter gets knocked out either because of ineffectiveness or in the case today an injury, you really need those guys to gobble up some innings, and they've been able to do it up to this point today.
Off day tomorrow. The Mets come in for the holiday weekend starting Friday, and then the hot Houston Astros will be here Monday. Joel Hanrahan making his 59th appearance. He would be in that closer role if the Pirates were in that situation today. They're not, trailing 5-3 in the 8th. Traded away Matt Capps to Minnesota, or rather Washington traded Matt Capps. They had him last year. Octavio Dotel was their closer to start this season, and the Pirates traded him to the Dodgers. Fouled away by Nady. Souvenirs today. I say, I don't want to shake your hand. Give me the ball. He swings and misses. One away.
I mentioned at the top of the show the strong bench that Mike Quade had available today. He's used 3 of the guys off the bench as part of double switches in this game. Aramis Ramirez getting his first at bat this afternoon.
Pulled left field, foul off the side wall. Aramis 3 hits away from 1,600 in his career. .241, but a lot better in the second half. After probably the worst first half of his career. And he chased that one. Foul tips for the second strikeout for Hanrahan.
Joel Hanrahan would be a guy that would be highly sought after by a number of teams should the Pirates decide they want to move him. He's under their control. He's relatively inexpensive, but this guy's got good stuff. Mid-90s tailing fastball, slider in the mid to upper 80s, good command. He's done a nice job for the Pirates in an otherwise miserable season. He's been one of the few bright spots.
Castro up to 318. He began the day at 315. Cedeno able to play it on the short hop, stayed in front of it, gets the out. Here comes the ninth. 5-3 Cubs in the rubber game. In the final meeting between these two NL Central rivals. Carlos Marmol against Neil Walker. Strike one. Walker 3 more hits. He had 4 last night. Both teams off tomorrow. Cubs welcome in the Mets, while the Pirates will host the Nationals starting Friday. Weather-wise, very quiet in terms of the wind. Flags are not moving at all at the moment. It is cooled off a little bit. We haven't seen the sun for the last couple of hours. Very comfortable at the moment.
Maybe not quite so comfortable for Neil Walker. Carlos Marmol has thrown him 2 nasty sliders right on the outside corner.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Well, this has been a very typical Carlos Marmol outing. He's faced 4 guys and nobody's put a ball in play yet.
2 on the outside corner, and then 1 that started right down the middle of the plate and just bottomed out as it got into the hitting zone, and Neil Walker swung right over the top of it.
Blew that one past Jones.
Here, Jones is just glad not to be facing a breaking ball throwing left-hander right now.
He is facing a breaking ball throwing righty, even though he did get a heater. Another one. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Strong wrist, able to hold up.
McDiamond would get the win. If that's the case, it would be the first of his career. McDonald on the hook for the loss as Marlon Byrd looks on. 3-2. Three-two pitch, and Jones held, so the tying run will come up. That's 2 strikeouts, 3 walks since Marmol came in.
We usually don't talk about the ability to check your swing as an offensive weapon, but that time Garrett Jones' ability to check his swing on a couple of nasty sliders earned him that base on balls.
There's Alvarez. And he pops it up. Castro, 2 hands on it, 2 down. $33,555 the paid crowd today. Ryan Doman, strike 1. Oh, and 2. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Cubs win. Marmol punches out 3 in an inning and a third. He gets the save, and the Cubs take 2 of 3 in this series. This was by far the closest contest, and the Cubs take it 5-3. Great to have with us Darwin Barney, who began the game at third base and then moved over to second base. You look very comfortable over there, Darwin.
Yeah, you know, it feels a lot better over there at third base. It's the side of the field that I'm used to, so the rhythm's kind of similar.
And Bob was commenting on you take a pretty healthy hack. You've hit some balls very hard here in the big leagues.
Well, you know, it's all about my approach. You know, I've been working a lot with Rudy, trying to stay back and, you know, just drive the ball where it's pitched and not trying to do too much.
You know, the game is the game, Darwin, whether it's A-ball, AA, AAA, or here at the big leagues. But what has been the biggest adjustment so far for you here at Wrigley Field as opposed to down in Iowa?
You know, it's just your heart rate, keeping it down, you know, not getting too excited. You know, you can see the ball so well in these parks, especially at night with these lights. And, you get a little anxious. So it's just slowing the game down to the regular pace, the same way that you played in Little League and in the minor leagues.
Speaking of Little League, pretty much at every level, you have been a winner. High school, college, and coming through the minor league system. How has that helped you along the way?
I really think that winning can be habitual. A lot of times guys can get used to losing and think it's okay, as long as they have a good day. But, I think being on those teams and having the opportunity to have some victories here and there, I think that it has a lot to do with character and what I can bring to a team. Losing's not accepted, and I think that's kind of how the Cubs feel, too.
And also Thomas Diamond, your teammate, gets his first major league win today. That's nice to see.
He's really throwing the ball well. He's came a long way this year. He threw really well in AAA. I think he led the league in strikeouts for a long time, so it's no surprise to me that he came here and made an impact, and he's sticking around.
Nicely done today, Darwin. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's always good to get a win.
That's Darwin Barney as the Cubs beat the Pirates today, 5-3. Yeah, the Cubs are getting younger. 8th youngest roster in baseball. Not quite that young, but we'll be back. 5-3 the final.